nucleus and substantia nigra. It's red because it has iron in it. Substantia nigra is black in color. These are having to do again with motor coordination. So we do a cross section. So there's the pons, medulla, cerebellum. Do a cross section. This is what it looks like. Where red nucleus, again, is handling lots of smooth movement. There's the substantia nigra. This is the one that deteriorates in Parkinson's so that you no longer produce dopamine. And dopamine is needed for smooth voluntary movement. And here's the dopamine system. The nigrostriatal, that's the one that's motor control, that's lost in Parkinson's. Mesolimbic, this is the one that's why you keep checking your cell phone all the time and email, and underlines all addiction. So it gives you a little hit of pleasure by hitting a little bit of dopamine every time you do something that is, ideally is a survival mechanism. We talked about that a little bit in class, that the curious animal is the one that survives because the curious animal finds food, finds mates, finds shelter, finds where the predators are hanging out. So we are rewarded with a dopamine hit every time we look. And we like it, so we look a lot. Now, the problem, of course, the drug addict is getting dopamine hits initially with the drugs that they're using. You've got a section in your textbook that talks about how those various drugs, illegal drugs, are working, like cocaine and methamphetamine, heroin, exactly how they are working. And they are stimulating this dopamine release. And then this is the problem why the user keeps, as they say, chasing the dragon, keeps using more and more and more, because we've already learned our body works on a supply and demand, and if you've got too much response going on, the body will remove the receptors to it so that you will not continue to put out that much neurotransmitter. And so they have less pleasure as time goes on, which means they're using higher and higher doses to try to get the same high that they had originally, but they are losing all of their dopamine function. And then I think we talked about that in class, that many will also lose all dopamine function and they'll take on the symptoms of Parkinson's disease as a result. All right, so which part of the brain is responsible for coordinating voluntary movement? Basal ganglia. Good job. Which is, notice I used the term used in your book. It's actual basal nuclei. It's just that your book calls them basal ganglia. All right, now we're to the hindbrain. The hindbrain are the pons, the cerebellum, and the medulla. Oh, I forgot the prop. Let me go get the prop real quick.